And we're back. How you guys doing? I used to remember that skit on Saturday Night Live with Jimmy Fallon. And we're back. I used to do a DJ. How you guys doing? That might be for a lot of your time. That was probably 20 years ago, and a lot of you viewers are only 25 years old, so you're 5 years old. I get it. A lot of you are 65 years old. You think you're 25 years old. You're only 5 years. I get it. Welcome back. How's it going, guys? We're coming into the last hour of trading here. And while we've been apart, our friends at Gamestop have had quite the little excitement. The shares actually took a shot there, a little peak there at the top end, hit 55.24 today in the middle of the day, and then backed off again. And now we're up 29 cents at 51.39. So another little taste of maybe what's to come. Lack of selling on GameStop. There's really nothing on the offering. It's very thin there. Again, I would not be surprised whenever we get an announcement or corporate development that will create a bit of a wave of interest. The shares will run up 10, 15, 20 bucks, no problem. There's no resistance. I don't think there is. Other than that, over at Gores Holdings, the GHVI symbol, that's the stock I was talking about that's going to merge with the Matterport. 16.52 now on the day, down 9 cents on the day. They opened this morning at 18.75, and they had been up to 20 bucks on the pre-market a couple days ago when this announcement was made of the merger of the two companies. And I've been hoping that it would back off into that 15 range, that you might be able to score it there, and you might just get it. 16.52. Anyway, it's got to give up another buck, but 50, 60, 70 cents down from here, and it's in buy range. We'll see how that wants to react for the rest of the day, and then we'll see on Tuesday after the long weekend what what the stock wants to give you. The Virgin Group Acquisition Corp, VGAC, is definitely in the buy zone now. 14.14 a share, down 70 cents. Definitely in the buy range. AMC is up a penny only at 5.62. Bed Bath & Beyond has been holding a gain all day. It's up 65 cents to 28.24, and it has been getting a little better press lately. An upgrade from one analyst the other day. A little positive story this morning. BlackBerry back to 13 bucks, up 54 cents. Nice to see it turn around. It's been weak. It was as low as 12.12 this morning. Now back to 13 bucks. It's had quite the week. It was in the 14s, backed all the way down to the low 12s, and now it's back to 13. So see what happens. I mean, it had a run last month going as high as 20-something, kind of wacky there, 28 bucks, now 13. So it's really backed off from its recent run. Don't have any news I can give you to specifically tell you why you want to be in it. The Bumble IPO stock that went public yesterday, Bumble 79.42. It is actually at a higher level now than probably, it may have hit 84 yesterday, but it is a little better now. Pardon me, it hit 84 first thing this morning on a little blip like that. But for the most part, it's been in that 78 range, 79 range, pretty steady. But again, retail investors, you couldn't get it at 43 when they did the IPO. They're the Wall Street pros who have a closed shop and don't let you in. They now expect you to want to pay $79.66 to get into this ride. I think the ride's over. I think it's already hit the high of the high for a while. Maybe it'll go to 80, 83, but it's not going to 150. I mean, this company is approaching 15 billion in market cap. I don't know why you'd want to get all excited chasing it now. Makes no sense to me. It is, it might be a very smart company and a very ingenious company, but they're not making any money, and they're not worth 150 bucks a share. So I don't know how you're going to make any money on this as a retail investor. Certainly not at the all-time high it's trading at now, or close to it. PNW Plebe, thank you for this donation. You're welcome. You're so awesome, Bruce. On GameStop's website, they are showing an option to redeem power-up points for digital currencies. What do you think? Oh, I like the sound of this. I'm one of these. Again, I'm ancient. I'm an old man. I'm 65, which means in the internet world, I'm 1,000 years old. But this digital thingy, of course, the average age of a gamer. What do you think it is? I'm asking you guys. What do you think the average age of a gamer is? I mean, of course, the minute someone is born, they're a future gamer in this world. But really, I have a nephew of mine who's now 40 something. He's got a couple of kids. Has been a gamer all his life. Is still a gamer. Wants to get away from the kids a while. He grab his controller and just have a little break from reality. He's probably got his kids playing on the games. There are 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 20-year-old gamers. Digital coins, cryptocurrency, and 25 to 35-year-old people. Yeah, what marriage made in heaven. Smart move by GameStop. If these guys, there you go, average age 20s, 30s, there you go. A smart move by gamers. If they're going to be able to pay with crypto, and they can convert some of their points that they've generated for crypto. I think that's brilliant by GameStop. Brilliant with a capital B. You want to talk about hyping up the market? You want to get the stock market talking about GameStop in the demographic that they need to get people talking about GameStop. This is it right here. This is perfect. I believe that in the last 3 weeks, a whole bunch of gamer-aged investors have been buying up GameStop shares for the long haul. They might have bought in on the hype and all that because that's when they heard about it. Fair enough, but they're going to stick around and just hold the stock and let the company do what they do. I sure hope they know what is planned for this company. But if somehow the word got out that GameStop will accept crypto currency for purchases of their systems, if they go that direction quickly, they'll be one of the first companies like Tesla and others. They will be viewed in a different light by a lot of investors out there. Very interesting. The other thing I'm thinking about is if GameStop can convince people to swap points, like this message suggests, redeem power up points for digital currencies. I love this. I think this is great. I have honestly not heard this before, so it's brand new to me. If this indeed is I like it. I like it a lot. I like it an awful lot, and there could be most interesting press coming from there. We'll have to see how this plays out. Interesting. Folks are hey, I'm 26. I'm a gamer. I'm a 75 gamer. I'm not a gamer. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a YouTube creator, and I'm a talker on YouTube. Albie, thank you. I'm so rich, I don't know where to spend it. Love your comments. Thank you, Samir, for your donation. £5.49. That is awesome. Gosh, I wish I were over there. I wish I was able to be allowed to travel and come on over to the UK. And there's so much of the UK that Jen and I want to see. We have not got our fill of the UK at all. We would really like to get over there. And of course, the continent in Europe, so much more we want to catch up on. Really looking forward to the opportunity when we can travel again. That would really be something. Anyway, yeah. Chuck, sorry, someone just said something here. What was this? Mitch, hello, Bruce, just announced was ETF that follows Bitcoin. What do you think? Hello, Bruce. Just an ETF that follows Bitcoin. That sounds interesting. It's a way to get into Bitcoin without being in the Bitcoin. Kathy Wood will have to add GameStop to her ETFs in the future. Interesting. I got scared on GameStop and I bought more shares. I have 17 now because they popped a little bit. Like I said, they're beginning to show me that at any time, $5-10 uptick is no big deal, but the downtick is hard to come by. They're not plummeting here anymore. This will be interesting. Hey, Bruce, what do you think one Virgin Group AC stock will be roughly worth once the merger takes place? Love you, Uncle. I don't know. I don't know the price that it's going to be. I just I just believe that with all the ingredients added up, with the two companies now, one $3 billion plus valuation, 950 million cash in the bank, Richard Branson as a unofficial, official stock promoter, as a cheerleader, as a master media mogul exposer. I mean, this will be talked about a lot. 23andMe and this company becoming 23andMe, this will be a stock that will be talked about a bunch. And with home gene therapy type testing kits and the ancestry thing and the COVID thing and the cancer testing thing. I mean, I can't describe all the potential this thing has got, but I'm just seeing endless public PR promotion coming to the story of this company, and with Google involved in an investment from day one, not a big one, but Google was in there. SmithKline, the big pharmaceutical, $300 million they have into this company, and a partnership working deal. I see a lot of this stuff coming. I just see so much more momentum behind this story when they're allowed to talk about it. Right now, they can't talk because they are doing the merger. The securities lawyers and the auditors, the accountants, SEC officials, New York Stock Exchange people, all the bean counters and the paper pushers are doing their thing, and all the entrepreneurs who we're going to hear from, and we're going to hear from them, they're just waiting, and they're working their magic behind the scenes, and they're just piling up a ton of PR press releases that we're just going to flood the airwaves for months and months and months. This is not going to be a sleepy little publicly traded company called 23andMe with the symbol ME. It's not going to be a quiet little company. There's going to be a ton. So you've got a limited window to get into the thing. And right now at $14.21, it sure beats the $18 stock price the night of the announcement. The aftermarket, it popped to $18. You can get in here now and just take a position, put it over here, and just go, okay, got my work done on that one. Perfect. I'm set. I'm ready. You got some GameStop? Good. You got your GameStop. Put it over there and just kind of, all right. Well, let's let them do what they do best. And if you can get some of this Gores Holdings, if it backs off a little bit more into the 15 range, pick some up and put that over there. And now your little cupboard is stocked with a couple little stories. And I'll bring out a few more as I come across them that might be worthy of your attention. And then let's see what gives. Yeah, I've been to Norway? Never. I've been to Amsterdam? No. Bruce, that's the euro symbol. Oh, thank you for that euro. I appreciate that. Euros, pounds, thank you. They're all appreciated. Manny, here's another symbol I love, the dollar symbol. Any thoughts on TRIP, short, op, potential, or long? Don't know what TRIP is. So I couldn't tell you. Thank you, all of you, for being here and catching up with me. 51.72 now on GameStop, so it's up 62 cents on the day. Let's take a look at this TRIP. TRIP, quick quote. What is TRIP? TripAdvisor. Okay, TripAdvisor. I've heard the name. Online travel agency company that owns and operates a portfolio of online travel brands. It operates through the following segments: hotels, media platform, and experiences and dining. Very interesting. I don't have an answer as to the company's business and its existence, but the fact is that we're still in a pandemic, and hotel stays, vacation stays, flights, we're in Death Valley right now. It's bad times. Will there be an optimistic bounce on some of these stocks forward? Yeah, there will always be, and there should be some kind of a relief. Thank God we can go traveling again bounce. Yeah. But then the analysts will come out with those calculators that they have, those nasty little calculators that tell the truth. And they will break down but based on their, projections and sales and revenues and expenses and blah, 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 here's where the stock should be going. And that's when we will get picky about hey, I don't want to buy just because things are bouncing. I don't want to buy a travel company at the height of a promotional run up, only to find that fundamentally the thing is worth half as what it's trading at. I don't want to be doing that. I want to get into a stock where, you know, this recovery now can allow this company to really grow revenues and earnings and take the stock to a much higher level than it is now, even if it's had a tiny bounce. You gotta find value, and you've got to be a picky buyer, and that means you got to find a deal. And the thing about this stock market that you got to understand is you can't just throw a dart against the wall and go, no matter what it lands on, it's just going to go up. That's not the case. Just because the Dow Jones is at its all-time high or S&P 500 doesn't mean that every single stock in the index is at its all-time high. That doesn't mean it at all. On the S&P 500, there might only be 25 stocks to 50 stocks that are hitting new highs, another 100 or 200 that are near their highs within 5%, and then the rest of them are 10% to 50% from their all-time highs, and they're the laggards. You got winners, you got losers, and what you want to find are the entities that could hit their new all-time highs and go beyond because of their growth, earnings growth, profitability, and on it goes. And that's where you gotta be patient, and you gotta be picky, and you can't be dissuaded, and you can't be knocked off your perch. You've got to be disciplined. That's the hard part. But that's why there are fewer winners and more losers. The winners are the ones who are very patient, and sometimes they're the ones when you go you hang out in a group, and they're kind of they're the thinkers. They're the ones who just aren't the action-oriented, jumping around like crazy people. But there are winners that are like that. There are those, but there are the others who are very thoughtful, and they're very analytical, and they really do their homework, and you just kind of wonder whatever. But then when they do buy, you realize, if this guy is buying it, I know how thorough this person is in all their decisions. There's got to be something there, because hard to fool this one. The fly-by-night people I know, and the folks who just have an attention span of a 8-second fly, I can understand those guys jumping on something. But this one over here is a thorough, very precise individual. When they make a move, okay, and so that's what you have to turn into if you can. I'll try to guide you. I'll do the best I can. I'm not necessarily that guy either, but I like to watch what they're doing. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, GameStop, $52, up 90 cents. It's looking better, sounding better, 52 than at 48, right? We certainly like that. Bed Bath & Beyond up 83 cents to 28.42. The Dow right now is not up. It's down 45 points. Let's take a look at the markets here. Dow is down 45, 47. S&P up 4, NASDAQ up 12. We have a mixed market today with very little change going on and not much going on. Headline running across here, the General Electric nearly halved its U.S. workforce in the past 3 years with more job cuts likely. General Electric is a shadow of its former self, and that is a most interesting factoid to keep in mind. Very interesting how the economy is really shifting around. Disney was up in the pre-market. It was up last night in the post-market. It's now down 365 to 187.26. It's not taking a tanking or anything like that. I don't expect Disney to tank because it is just so loved, but I kind of wonder if Disney shares might slowly slip along here as it becomes evidence that without the parks operating and without all the hotels filled up and without those restaurants cranking out the meals and with all the souvenir sales not happening and all the other ways you can spend money through the Disney World and Disneyland empire, this company cannot make a serious amount of money. It's just it just cannot. And it's just another 6 months of misery that I'm thinking what's going to happen. Anyway, there we are. Bruce, how can I make a deal for you on your comic books? Send me a private email, brucefrommert@hotmail.com. The address should be down below or in my about section here. You'll find it there, and I'll send you. I'll let you know what I have. Not right away. You got to give me some time because I don't go down there very often. They're all tucked away right now. John L. Hey, Bruce, glad I found you. I listen every morning. Would you please explain what a target price is and if stocks usually hit them or not? All righty. A lot of analysts, they'll write a report on a company for their brokerage house. And by the way, just so you know, the analysts, okay, in my day, when I was a, bumbling stockbroker at age 24, 25 and trying to figure out what was going on, then I became a branch manager and a VP and working away. We had, depending on the firm you were with, whether you're with a Merrill Lynch or whether you're with an E.F. Hutton, I'm going back, way back. You were with the Lehman Brothers, you were with all these other firms. There was a time where stock brokerage firms did not have analysts. They just had their hierarchy of their brokerage company. They had their senior management, their clearing department, their compliance people, their managers, their brokers, and all the assistants and all the other staff. But they didn't have analysts because in those days they would read or subscribe to publications that would have some sort of analysts do reports on different companies or sectors of the economy. And these firms would just subscribe to magazines or newsletters. And once a week or so, a delivery would be made to the office by courier right off the press from a group of analysts, depending on what you're covering. Now, I'm located at that time, I was located in Calgary, Alberta, which is oil country. And there were guys, gentlemen who were former partners, geologists, landmen, financial analysts who specialized in the oil patch, who in their 40s and 50s decided that I don't want to work the office grind anymore. I just love covering what's going on out there. I love to hear what's going on. They had contact over their 20-year careers. They knew all the players in 20, 30, 40 different companies. Because again, back in the 70s and 80s, there might have been a couple of hundred oil and gas companies. And these guys had connections with a bunch of them. And then they had connections with connections who had connections to a bunch more. They knew the oil patch. They were oil patch guys. And they would start writing a newsletter on like a type one out. And it would be really crudely made. These would be maybe 2 full size pages of notes about 30 companies every week or so, or every 2 weeks or so. They would just have notes about what's going on in the patch. And so-and-so is drilling discoveries wells over in this area that are next to, next to these companies. They're partnered with these 5 companies, and these guys have different percentage stakes. They got to drill 10 wells over the next 6 months, and they're going to find out what they're sitting on. And then there'll be another paragraph about another oil and gas group, and then a new company that was merged with this group, or 5 guys left this company and formed their own company, all the scuttlebutt. And couriers would be hired by this individual. He'd crank these off at a small printing press somewhere, and then these would be delivered to the brokerage houses and to all the oil and gas company guys. All the oil and gas presidents and vice presidents all wanted this because it was the scuttlebutt about the oil patch. And that's how brokerage houses worked in the 70s. They would get newsletters from, in New York, they would get newsletters from guys who were covering the automotive sector, and they would get, newsletters or publications from guys who covered real estate and all the businesses. Then, of course, we got into the digital age. And we came out with analytical reports that now come out electronically. And you now subscribe to this stuff. And that's what the oil patch does today. It's all electronic. And then the brokerage firms, as time went on into the 80s and 90s, decided they would hire their own in-house people. And they would have, an analytical department, the analytics department over here. And then these ladies and gentlemen would cover the various sectors. And all month long, they would be just scouring for information and making phone calls and emailing and texting and then putting together info. And then the broker would come in on a Tuesday morning. The broker would come in an hour and a half before the opening of the market. And because the firm on their electronic records knows that, This broker is into these 25 stocks or 100 stocks. This broker is into a bunch of these stocks. You would start getting newsletters pertinent to what you're following. So yeah, if I'm a stockbroker, I would come in one morning and there might be 5 articles about GameStop in my server from my analyst department, and some of them are in-house written. Some of them may have been gathered from the outside and brought in. So analysts would come up with target prices to answer this question. What's the target price? Well, analysts would say, okay, GameStop, here's the story on GameStop, the latest. My recommendation is hold, and I have a target price of $50 a share. The next analyst at another firm might say it's a buy, and my target price is $75 over the next 3 to 6 months, and here's why. And then you just read the reasoning. Others would have a underperform rating. That means sell it or don't get it. There's all kinds of lingo for what they really mean, because they hate to sell, buy, and sell. They like underperform, overperform, that kind of stuff. Anyway, target price is just their guess where they think the shares either should be now or where they think the shares will be moving forward in a certain time frame. That's all it is, and it means nothing to the stock, and it means nothing to investors who are day trading this stuff. They couldn't care less. They're just all over the market, whether it's moving up or moving down, and that's all she wrote. The founder of Dogecoin says crypto's rise is not something I can comprehend. Okay, fair enough. I don't know about their crypto, but crypto in general, I suppose. Bitcoin is 47,347 right now. Anyway, the analysts out there are now in-house people, and some of them will leave a firm and go out on their own. They've got such a reputation for being pretty accurate or being pretty good calling shots about certain companies. They then go on their own, and then they offer a digital subscription to their guest work, and firms and individuals around the world will subscribe to these guys, and they'll make way more money as an independent analyst than an employee of a brokerage firm. At the brokerage house, they might have been paid 50, 60 grand to start with, and then they graduated their way up to 100 grand a year. But they're still, employees of firm, whatever. And they've got to really cover a lot of stocks that the firm follows, especially the firm's underwriters, IPO department, and their finance department. They've really got to follow the stocks that the firm is backing with their client money, for obvious reasons, because most of the customers of this house own shares in these 50 stocks that we really like as a house, and the analyst will keep the brokers posted on what they think is going on. The problem is the analyst is not an independent analyst. The analyst is an in-house, perhaps, shill for these 50 companies. And even the brokers sometimes are going, I don't believe what my own analyst is telling me about this company. Why is the stock so sluggish? And this guy's telling me it's so rosy. There's something the street knows that this guy's not telling me. And that's what happens in-house departments. And so brokerage firms not only have their own guys, they also buy outside analytical analysis. But if you go on your own, if you become an independent analyst and you're now featured on CNBC, or you're on Fox Business News, or you're on CNN, FN, or whatever, you're on Bloomberg, you're now a public face, you now have another source of income that's come your way. You can write books, and you can do speeches where you go to seminars, and 1,000 people will come to a seminar in Pittsburgh at $50 each, and there'll be 5 speakers today, each one talking for 30 minutes or 40 minutes. This guy might be one of those, getting a $10,000, $20,000 appearance fee, or whatever the amount is. These guys make way more money now as independent rock stars of the stock market world, rather than in-house slaves to the man. Target pricing. They try to set targets. Anyway, there you go. That was a long answer, but I wanted to give you a more fuller picture. Nafisa, hi Bruce, I'm stuck with GameStop at 160. Do you think I'll be able to recover my money? Will it even spike up to 150 this year? Can it get within $10, Bruce? Can you get me like this close so I can just get the hell out? I can't say yes, and I can't say no. I can only say that the company ran up to over $400 and has come back to where it is now. And for whatever reason, the analysts out there, a number of analysts out there, not all, but a number of analysts out there were certain that the GameStop shares would crash back to 15, 20 bucks a share because the company is a failure, brick and mortar, just like Blockbuster, has no life. And it hasn't happened. It's sitting at $51.28. It just won't go down to $15. And I think I know why. The simple answer is way more buyers than sellers. And the holders of GameStop who bought at 100, 110, 20, 150, 60, 200, they're buying for the long run. They wanted to flip. Who doesn't? Yeah, you're buying at 160 and it goes to $1,000. Yay! Doesn't happen. Okay, now what? There are a lot of folks who've owned GameStop in the past or have had it a long time and who have been buying it on the way back going, I'm interested in getting a nice average price, and I'm going to wait out the corporate story. And if it takes a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, I'm waiting it out. So if you've got the patience, if you can hang in there, do so and enjoy. But if you don't and you need the money, whatever this is still worth, it's a third of what you paid. If you have to take the hit, you have to take the hit. If you do sell during this year, 2021, and it's a loss against any other gains, you get to write off the loss against gains, and you might have a tax savings or a capital gains tax savings. You have to talk to your own accountant, your own person, about your own advisor, financial advisor, about what you should do with regards to those kinds of decisions. But as far as corporately goes, the company has got a lot of stuff going on, and this latest little ditty, I like the sound of this whole idea of crypto, the cryptocurrency thing. This sounds pretty good. I like the sound of that. We'll see if this gets picked up anywhere. I'm curious. I'll be digging into this. Some ETFs are $300 to $700 and started 10 plus years ago at like 10% of that. Is there some magic number where they split shares, or sky's the limit? Sky's the limit, but they can do a split. Makes no difference to the fund. If they want to split the units 5 for 1, do a 5 for 1 split, they reach $500 and now they're worth $100. You have 5 times as many. Makes no difference to the fund. It just makes a difference to you as to how many units you have. But they're not going to go up $10 each and $50 each just because they split. The ETF is going to really trade more at its book value or slight premium to it, but not a stupid premium, generally speaking. So, if you're getting into a fund that's done really well and it does split on you, your returns really won't change. It'll be the performance of the manager, the fund manager. That's what you're buying into, and that's what you're going to get going forward. Clash to Win, BBTV. What do you think of this on the TSX? They help content creator to make money, YouTubers. Their IPOs at 16 and trading lower. I got some at 16. I as a content creator, I don't know if you can imagine, but that this channel here, in the last 2 weeks, the amount of emails that I'm getting from absolute shysters is just shocking. I'm not shocked. I knew this would happen. I get approached all the time with my emails from Romania to Tajikistan with all kinds of offers. We would like to advertise with you. Please send us your contact information so we can set up an account with you. Yeah, right. Yeah. And so those of us who are YouTubers that were in the smaller size, and I'm still a small YouTuber, 50,000 subscribers. I'm so happy you're here. But until I had 500,000 to 1 million, I'm a nothing in the YouTube world. But I am targeted by scam artists all the time to do this, do that, under the guise of helping you as a YouTube creator make more money. We also get approached. I do get approached by legitimate companies who want to help me out, and BBTV is one of them. I believe they're Vancouver based, if I'm not mistaken. I was approached by these guys over a year ago on Traveling with Bruce, my other channel, and they wanted to work with me. The problem is that in order to work with me, I have to share with them whatever money I get from YouTube. It's a straight percentage. I don't pay them on the performance that they deliver to me. They get a cut of my action, whether they do anything or not. And I have heard so many YouTubers over the years. I've seen so many videos on YouTube of YouTubers warning other YouTubers, stay away from this guy, stay away from these guys, stay away from those guys, stay away from those guys, because they've signed into 1 year and 2 year and 3 year management contracts with certain entities where they sign over certain control of their channel's future and revenues and control and royalties and all kinds of stuff. And it ends up that they get talked into a really great sounding deal, and then they sign the deal, it all happens, and then nothing happens. They're finding out that they're just getting random emails with some ideas, try this, but there's no promotion, there's no hype, there's no exposure of their channel to the world at large. They're being asked, do a collaboration with this guy. Well, that guy is a client of theirs as well. And this guy likes to talk about bandsaws, and you like to talk about the stock market. No cross promotion possibility at all. And these guys in the middle just say, well, you talk to each other, work it out. And so a lot of these firms, a lot of these YouTubers will say, don't get involved in any of these deals because they're just a one-sided deal. I'm talking where YouTubers are losing or handing over between 15 to 50% of their revenues to these agencies that then don't really do much for them. And yet there are some YouTubers out there who are saying, oh, they do great things for me, it's fantastic. And then you realize, yeah, well, I'm a 65-year-old guy and I'm out of the demographic of this agency. This agency is targeting 25 to 35-year-olds for advertising, or even 15 to 25-year-olds. I'm 65, yet they're coming after me to, have me hand them a bunch of my earnings power because it just lines their pocket. But my channel will never be appealing to a 15-year-old kid. If I'm a Bruce, the cruise ship channel on Traveling with Bruce, what does a 15-year-old kid want to do with me? Nothing, zero. Even with stock markets with Bruce, a 12-year-old child wants to watch an old man talk to a bunch of people about stocks and investments. I don't think so. So there are certain firms that mesh with certain creators, and then there are many they don't. And unfortunately, and the reality is, some of these companies will hire people to find YouTubers to get them to sign up, and they will give them a list of 100 YouTubers every day. Contact these people, send them emails, tell them how great they are, tell them that you've been watching their channel and you think they're doing a great job. And it's the same letters all the time. I can't tell you how many times I get offers of all kinds of, brand stuff. They can't spell. They have no grammar. They don't know what a capital letter at the front of a sentence actually means. They have no address. They have no phone number. They have no business thing. They have no presence. They don't exist because they're scams. This one here is a legitimate entity. It exists. It has a number of divisions of promotion and online marketing promotion. But I talked to them a bit ago, and I realized, you know what? I do more of what these guys tell me they can do for me than they can do for me. They were saying to me, well, you could set up a Facebook group page. And I'm going, yeah, I already got one of those. Well, you could do some work on Twitter. I'm going, yeah, I have a Twitter account. Well, you could do some Instagram. We can help you with Instagram work. I already have an Instagram account. Everything that they were telling me they would do for me, I already was doing on my own. Maybe not as well as professionals would, but I already had this stuff, and I wasn't giving away anything to anybody. I was just doing it on my own, and Jennifer was helping me out. And so for me, not interested. This is a kind of stock that sounds so good. This business sounds so good for the day, the era that we're in, the age we're in. But I kind of wonder, and I know they do more than just YouTube promotion. I mean, it's not all they do. But I would love to know, and I don't think they'll ever provide it, how many YouTube accounts have you opened up in the last 5 or 10 years and are still dealing with these people? How many YouTubers after the contract is over leave and get out? Because that's what a lot of YouTubers out there are saying to other YouTubers. The minute you can get out of these contracts, get out. Don't ever re-sign with these guys, because you will never get what they promise you they're going to do for you when they're trying to sign you up for the 35% of your action. There are some YouTubers out there who just, they were making a few bucks. So they were kind of making a living. They signed over 25% of their future for 2 years. And 6 months later, something happened on their channel that worked out really well for them. And it was their doing, only their doing. And they went viral. And now they were bringing in $15,000 a month from YouTube, and they had to give away $3,750 of these guys because they're contractually obligated to them for the full 2 years, even though they've done nothing. And so for 18 months, they're just gritting their teeth going, man, what an idiot I was. And at the end of 2 years, they can't wait to get out of that deal. The deals, they're released and they're on their own again, and they never sign again. This can happen. Anyway, just Bruce's opinion from this YouTube handle here, this YouTube location, I should say. But I got to tell you, folks, every day, I get at least 20 emails in my inbox, of which 12 are junk mail. I mean, my server just throws them in the junk pile. I'll then look at them, and very rarely will I find a legitimate email in there. It's all scams. It's all people trying to skim off the top. They just want a piece of your action to tell you how great you are. Or they want you to do advertising with them, but the information you have to give them, they can now sneak into your account and take over your account, your YouTube account. And now you can't get it back, or you've got to somehow convince YouTube, hey, that they stole this from me, and now you're into a nightmare. It is scary out there. It's absolutely scary. In any event, what can I say? I keep waiting for the day that I get a phone call or I get an email, actually probably an email, where I will be contacted by a legitimate, real agency that represents, quote, talent, and will contact me and say, here's my phone number, call me. Like that's real. Here's our address, phone information, the telephone information, and find us. And you'll find all this information that I'm giving. Here's our website, and here's my picture. Let's do a Skype call. Like I'll talk to you, we'll do that. And then you call me. Like I'll call you, but you call me. Like I'm real. I'm really real. Now I'm gonna give you other YouTubers that I work with, because I've asked them for permission, because I've told them I want you to, as a client, I want you to talk to them in private about me. Like I've never had that. Never had that. But again, I am a zero on the scale of an agency. I'm a zero. I have you wonderful, loyal people here watching me today, but it's not enough for an agency to go, hey, boy, this guy would be great for our brand. Or, if we could convince him to do like a 45-second sponsorship of some product on his shows or in his videos, or, hey, we think we can go to advertise like to our clients and say, we got this guy. He's out of the box, man. He's like way out here. He's not the 30-year-old, gorgeous-looking young girl that does makeup tutorials. This guy is completely different, but he's so personable, and he's got such a great audience. You might want him to hold your product up in front of the camera and announce to the audience that I'm being paid to say this, but look at this. They buy from him. Not gonna happen. 1 million subscribers later, maybe, but how old will I be then? Way too many wrinkles, and just awful looking. Anyway, there you have it, folks. Always fun. Delta Bravo 5, how you doing there? Thanks for a great broadcast as always, Bruce. I'd be a patron as soon as my average is below the current average investment in GameStop. Holding a lot in GameStop, and they need to be chewed up a bit more. Well, stick around. We're not going anywhere. Let's see how it goes with GameStop. Today, 51.56, up 46 cents. There doesn't seem to be a big sell-off happening the day before a long weekend, so that's good news. Let the company do what they do. Let's see what's going on. Sharon, hi Sharon, how you doing? Have you been contacted by any Ethiopian princesses? I've had so many banks contact me, supposedly banks from South Africa, Nigeria. I'm an account manager at a major bank in Faso, whatever. I got it all. I get it all, and I have been for years now on the other channel. Now this one, it's unbelievable. Sharon, thank you for the PayPal donation. I saw that. Thank you again. Yeah, there's just all kinds of these outfits everywhere, and they usually their emails usually end up just going right into my junk server because I don't. Even my email server knows it's garbage. Even Hotmail knows it's crap. Diluted Dante, BBTV seems more useful for large corporations to monetize user-generated content than anyone getting smaller or bigger. Again, every firm has their potential. I mean, they were after me for like a month, like almost 6 weeks. I was getting emails. Would you like to talk to us? I actually talked to them on the phone. They're legit out of Vancouver. I did talk to them on the phone, but the funny thing for me was I was a year and a half into the YouTube game. So I was like 63 and a half, 64 years old, or 63. And I knew more about YouTube than they knew about YouTube. And I'm thinking, I'm talking to a 30-year-old, 25-year-old person here who should be all over this story, all over the YouTube everything. I knew more about the algorithms and how that worked and how to measure your demographic age groups and where your language, what languages people watch you in, and on and on. I knew all my analytics, and these guys, I was walking circles around. I was saying I should be doing your job. I'd be better at doing what you do than you, because I could talk to fellow YouTubers and I could help them be better YouTubers, because I know more about YouTube than a lot of YouTubers know about YouTube, because I do my homework. Needless to say, I didn't sign up. John Van, let's be honest here. We came here caught up with this squeeze crap, and then we fell in love with your dadness and your wisdom when we love for stocks. Oh gosh, darn it to heck. Well, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the show, and let's try to make some money. Oh my gosh, Bruce, have you considered streaming on Twitch? I looked at Twitch in 2017, 2018. I took a look at it, but in the travel area, no good for me. And now the stock area, I have not had time to really look at Twitch from the stock side of things. My thinking was last summer, I thought for a year about opening a second channel, and I pulled the pin, did it last, whatever it was, July, August, September. And I thought, well, I'll just do it as a second channel on YouTube, because I'm on YouTube all the time with Traveling with Bruce. So just keep doing this, do this on this channel, and all I have to do is click, and I'm over on the other channel. I have done dual broadcasts, dual live shows on both channels simultaneously, and I might do that again sometime. But I thought this would be a lot simpler. And doing the Twitch thing, I've got to learn all that and figure all that out. And I thought, multiple platform going live. Like I'm live right now on Facebook, on the Stock Markets with Bruce Facebook page, and here, because it's just a click thing for me. With the Twitch thing, I have not yet found enough evidence that would really work for me yet. But then again, I might be enlightened as I dig into it further, because the audience of this channel is much younger than the audience at Traveling with Bruce, which makes sense, because on that channel, it's cruisers, folks who want to go on cruise ships, older, retired. Obviously, it just makes absolute sense. We're here, we're into the stock market, we're into some of your day trading, some of you are looking for options advice, all that kind of stuff. Younger crowd, gotta be, absolutely. So Twitch might be a demographic area for me to go after because of the younger audience over there, and add to the audience. Now, if I can find a way to theoretically merge it all together and go live with one show and have it broadcast on both platforms, and the Twitch platform is running properly and I don't have to watch it every second of every day. Anyway, I might need help on that one. So we'll see. Things will, we'll see what's going on. AB, thank you for this donation. Age is just a number, willingness to learn, etc. I had an 80-year-old science teacher who had a master's in physics, programmed mainframes, ran circles around 30-year-old teachers who couldn't use Windows 98. Yeah, I hear you there. I'll tell you that the first time I was ever exposed to age and wisdom and someone being cool was when I was in grade 4. So I would have been like 9 years old. And I was in a class of 30 kids or whatever it was. And there was a guy, his name was Mr. Parkinson. And I'm sure by now he's passed on, because he would have been 40 when he was my teacher in 1964. Yeah, so he's gone now. So I could talk about him. So Mr. Parkinson was, I believe, British from the UK, and I suspect that he was in the armed services. He may have been in the UK Armed Forces, and so he was a very disciplined guy. But he was just I felt he was the coolest human. Other than my father, he was a real cool dude. At age 8 or 9, I recognized this guy's cool. And he was like me. He had nothing up here. He had the hair just down here now. And we would have open question day where you could ask a teacher anything you wanted. I never had a teacher like that before. Never had a teacher at grade 1, 2, 3 that would say, ask me anything you want about whatever you want to talk about. No way. I mean, the teachers I had were generally female, and if you didn't pay attention, you sat in the corner with your back turned to the class. They had no sense of humor, because they were sick and tired of these rat kids. Where this guy, he was the kind of guy that would bond with you, and you would go to school with the flu to be in his class, because he was that good. Anyway, one kid asked him one day, well, what happened to all that hair on your head? And he said, young man, let me tell you a little secret. You'll learn this when you get older. But the more you got going on in here, that's like underneath a busy highway. The grass only grows on the side of the road, but on the highway, baby, nothing grows there, because there's no room for anything else. It's too active. It's too busy. Too many cars. Too much going on. I thought, that is a cool answer, because I'm 9 years old going, this is really, really cool. And he was a really neat teacher. So there's some people who inspire you. He was the first guy to inspire me, other than my father. This is a guy that I went, wow, this guy is cool. And I kind of thought, I'd like to be like this guy someday, because man, the whole class we were just enamored with him. We were in the palm of his hand all the time. Just, you tell us, we absorb. You tell, we absorb. And I learned for the first time in my scholastic career at a grade 4 that I actually could learn, because every other teacher would write in the report card, he needs to apply himself more. Bruce needs to spend a little less time talking to his classmates and a little more time studying on his assignments. And then I'd have to show these report cards to my mom and dad, and they'd have to sign off on it. And I'd have to bring the report card back to school that my parents signed this and read those comments. So when I met this guy, I thought, there's hope. There's hope. If only there was a YouTube future in my future. So Mr. Parkinson, wherever you are, thank you very much for inspiring me. I don't know about you guys, but I would imagine that all of us have had an inspiring person in our lives, a mentor, a teacher, a community leader, a relative, uncle somebody in the family, or someone you couldn't wait to see at Christmas time. Once a year, you got to meet this one relative who was just the coolest and the neatest person that just, some had that je ne sais quoi that would inspire you. Well, this guy, he was one of them. I had a few, and they were generally male. I had only one female teacher in my career that I can think of that I really enjoyed, respected. She was a music teacher of mine, grade 7 and 8. She was wonderful, Mrs. Fritz, and she was in her 60s. But again, everybody loved this gal. Everybody loved her because she treated you like an adult, because she didn't have time anymore to play games. She didn't have time to be into the power trip nonsense. And when she was at school at her age, her kids were grown up. She didn't have to worry about what her kids were doing anymore. Where the other teachers who were in their 30s, they had, family issues to work. They had a life. I get it. But my certain male teachers, not all of them, but I had some male teachers that were absolutely worth every penny they were paid. They were underpaid. And I think of them even now. Even now, I think about teachers I had when I was 14, 15, 17. Wow. I would love to see them, but they're gone. They're gone. So what are you going to do? Juna, boy, thank you for this donation. Press 1 if you want Unky Bruce to make options in plain English. YouTube video, please, Unky Bruce, please make options in plain English. So I'll have to make a video for you about options in plain English, and I might have to make a couple because there's more than 10 minutes worth. I'll see what I can do. Okay, there's a whole bunch of number ones coming across here. Thank you. These are ideas I need to know. Thank you very much. Uncle Bruce, thoughts on Virgin Galactic SPAC? Should I look at it as a regular airline? Oh, Virgin Galactic, and it won't take off in 2021. Shares took a tumble today. Postponed this test flight booked for tomorrow. Yeah. These are the kind of stocks you got to be careful with because these are. This is kind of a stock that when the day comes and they do a test flight, it could go much higher because it went well. It could go much lower because it went well. It doesn't go well, it could crash. I mean, the stock too. You really got to be careful with stuff like that. That is really dangerous stuff. And I do not recommend a lot of you, a majority of you, even bother to go there because it is a possible, wipeout of your wealth or a huge disappointment where it just doesn't deliver. All the good things happen, but you bought in so high that there's no more upside for you, and you got to be really careful. Bruce, is a wash sale anything to worry about? I'm thinking of taxes. Well, I read today that a wash sale is something like you had a stock and you bought it at 50 and you sold it at 40. And then a week later, you bought it back at 40 again or 45. You can't claim the loss because the tax man will say you're still in it. Within 30 days of being out and you're back in, you're in the position again. You're not fooling me. You thought you could lock in a loss and then just buy it back and write the loss off. No can do. It's a wash trade. We believe that you're still into the deal, and that's the end of that. So is it anything to worry about? Well, if you're trying to pull a fast one with the IRS, yeah, it's something to worry about. But if you're selling a stock, like I said this morning on the early show, if you're buying stock and you truly want to hold it for a longer term gain, by the way, we're closing in 3 minutes and we're at 52.30 on Gamestop. The Dow's up 28 and S&P up 18, NASDAQ up 70. We turned up everywhere. But if you truly want to make money on a stock, you buy it at 50, but you put in a stop loss order at 46 just in case it doesn't work out. And then it sits at 46 and then it goes to 45 and it starts to look like it's going to go again. You buy it again at 46 and you put a stop loss in at 42 in case you're wrong. And it goes to 52 and you move your stop loss to 46. Then it goes to 56 and you move your stop loss to 52. And then it goes down to 52 and you get out. The first time you bought at 50, you got out at 46. The second time you got in at 46, you got out at 52. The IRS might consider it wash trades. As far as you're concerned, you have a capital loss and a capital gain, and you're up a couple $100 or a couple $1,000. And nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to the tax man, they'll consider a lot of that wash trading, and they just want to know how much did you make, how much did you lose, where you're at, and pay your taxes or don't pay your taxes. We are now at a minute or two to go on the market. We've got GameStop at 52.30, up $1.20 at the last of the day here. The Dow turned around to give us a gain to 29 point gain, and the S&P 18, NASDAQ up 70. And so we have an uptick there. Oil up $1.35 today to 59.59. And this is the high of the day for the Dow today. It's the best level that the Dow has had all day long. Over on the, yeah, there we are. That's right. And then on S&P, its performance today, it's the high of the day. And for NASDAQ, it is the high of the day. So the stocks, the big boards are operating at a higher level, and that's to go into a long weekend. I'm certain a lot of this is because there just are no sellers around. They've all taken off for the weekend. They're doing whatever they're doing. GameStop, 52.29, up $1.19. So that's not the high of the day, but it is an up trade for the day. Good to see, technically good to see. AMC, unfortunately, down a nickel. Bed Bath & Beyond up 49 cents a gain. BlackBerry, 1302, a gain of 56. That's a positive as well. The cruise stocks all down a little bit, fractionally all down a little bit. And there you go. So GameStop, 52.08 right now. Last minute of the day, holding. Looks like a gain here as we are coming through the market zone. Yep, the bell is going on New York. There it is. They're clanging the bell. 52.26, 52.29 GameStop as we are closing it out for the week. And then I guess we start up on Tuesday for our next trade. Announcement for all of you out there who follow me. I will not be on the air next Tuesday live. I'll be behind the wheel of my car driving, going to Calgary. Got a family matter to deal with. The Wednesday, there might be a video, but there won't be a live show Wednesday. And Thursday, there won't be a live show either. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, no Uncle Brucey live with you. I might be live on the weekend here, not tomorrow, but maybe Sunday as a precursor to the weekend, but I might not. It all depends on just if I have anything I want to talk to you about. Otherwise, there might be a video too coming out this weekend, so keep an eye on the channel. So for this next few days, between now and then certainly Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, I am and Jennifer, we are taking care of a few things. We have friends of ours looking after our house while we're away, and we will be back here on the air on Friday again for sure. And then, of course, we get the weekend, and then we have a regular weekend. I should be back at it. But we'll keep an eye on GameStop. We'll do what we can with video updates in the meantime as best I can while I am mobile. I'm moving about, taking care of some business. I want you to be aware of that. That just was confirmed a few hours ago. I finally now know for sure that I will not be on the air for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week live. So enjoy me now while you can. Right on. We're closed. 52.16 in the aftermarket on GameStop. The markets have closed for the week, and the final numbers are coming in. A gain on the Dow after being down all day long. Not a big gain, 28 points, but another gain. S&P up 18, NASDAQ up 69, and GameStop closed at 52.26. It looked like on the final trade of the day. Chewy had a big day today, up 9.77 a share, closing at that 118, 119 range. That values them closer to $50 billion. An all e-commerce company that GameStop will be becoming, if I can say that rightly. The Virgin deal, VG acquisition group, that's the Branson SPAC, 14.60. It gained at the end of the day about 25 cents from about 14.30 to 14.60 or so, and that's where it is right now. So it had a little pop up at the end. The Gores Holdings also meandered at the end of the day. 17.20 right now is what I'm showing it on the close, down 30 cents on the day. If it gives up another dollar or more, that is a screaming buy. We'll see if it does give up any ground into next week. We'll follow that, see what's going on. Very interesting developments out there. There we are, GameStop right now, 51.85 in the aftermarket. And that's the latest. All right, back to your comments and see what's going on. We're going to miss Bruce. No Bruce live. I won't. If I'm live on Monday, it'll be to just take questions and whatnot because I'll be here Monday, but the markets are closed. So I might not be on at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time. I might get on a little later because I'm going to sleep a little bit. With the markets closed, I don't see why I want to get up at 4 a.m. But you never know. I might wake up at 3:30 because I can't sleep. We'll see what's going on. April, I'm so used to mornings with Bruce now. Next week will be a sad week for me. Bruce, do the Truman Show and live stream your life. I love that movie. I really did. I gotta say that when that movie came out, I was living in the Cayman Islands with Jennifer and our daughter. And that movie came out, The Truman Show, and I saw that movie and I thought, oh my gosh, that's about us. We're on a little island here. We can't get off the island. We can't see any other landmass from our island. It's all just water all around us. And I thought, boy, this could be, I could be the Truman Show right now. I could be living the Truman Show right now. What if the Cayman Islands is just a giant Truman Show and I don't know about it? And I think I'm in an offshore investment environment, but I'm really in the Truman Show. It's funny how the mind goes as you get older. But anyway, I really did enjoy that movie. I thought Jim Carrey, he won the Golden Globe for that role. He won the Golden Globe, but he didn't get the Oscar. And I thought, yeah, they don't give Oscars to comics unless you're Robin Williams as a supporting actor. But as a lead actor, they still weren't doing that back then, and that was a ripoff to me. I thought Jim Carrey deserved the Oscar for that role. He did a beautiful job in that role. I love that movie. Here we go. Log in. Bruce, there were $50 call option contracts running out today on GameStop. Is the expire time run out, or does the after hours count? Only the expire limit. The price of the stock at the end of the day is the deal. Now, if you had a contract or 10 or 20 or 1,000, whatever you had, you were in the money because the stock closed at $52.33. You have the right to buy the stock from the seller of that contract at $50 a share. The stock closed at $52.33. On the aftermarket, they're $51.99. Now, Monday morning, the stock might start trading at $48.50. And you are telling the broker you want to exercise your option. I think you have until the close of Monday to do the deal. I'm not 1,000% sure because I have never bothered to ever exercise a contract. All I know is that in the last 10 minutes of the day today, the contracts were trading at probably the exact price that the stock was in the money on that contract. So the $50 contract, if the stock was at $51.50 with 3 minutes to go, the contracts were $1.50 each, which is $150 a contract times 100 shares. If the stock with a minute to go, they reached $52, the contracts were trading at $2 each. And with 20 seconds to go, they were trading at $2.32, whatever. And if you put in an order with a minute or so to go, you should have been filled out, at around $2 and something cents a contract, give or take. What I always recommend for people to do is sell in the last hour. Don't sell in the last minute. Sell in the last hour if you're in the money, because you still have an hour of premium, and that might be 20 to 30 cents a contract of premium time on top of the book value. So if the stock, unfortunately, in the last hour, the stock could have been at $49.50, and you were out of the money, and you were only trading at 15 cents. So now you don't want to sell in the last hour. So now you wait for the last half hour. And then with 30 minutes to go, they're trading at 50 to 50 or 50 to 50 to 51. You got a 50-cent contract to a $1.20 contract, depending on the trade. You got to decide, do I pull the pin? Do I pull the pin, or do I wait for 15 minutes to go or 10 minutes to go? Unfortunately, the stock took a run towards the last 5 minutes, which really made it difficult for a lot of people to get trades in. But it's all electronic, and if you did a market sell, or you did a limit sell with a $2 limit at the end of the day with 5 minutes to go, the odds are you should have gotten out. But at the technical reality is, though, at the bell, the contract was in the money $2.33. Now, on Monday morning in the pre-market, the shares are trading at $55. You didn't sell that contract. The stock's at 55 and it opens at 55 to go to 57. You're definitely exercising your contract. You're going to buy 100 shares at $50 because they're trading at 57 right now on the market. And you're going to do this through your broker. It's all electronic. And in theory, you should have your stock very quickly, and then you can sell it right away at 57 and lock in your $7 profit. This is where a good quality brokerage firm comes in handy. I don't know about Robinhood, whether they're that good or not on these scenarios or not. Only those who use it will know. There you go. Here you go, part-time picker. Buy a call option, make money if it goes up. Buy a put option, make money if the stock goes down. That's usually how it works, except when they're in the last minutes of the day and you're in or out of the money. If you're out of the money, you're out of the money. Anyway, there you go. Other comments. Let's see here. Mason, Steve Miguel, yes, but keep an eye on the news around Virgin. Group or Virgin Galactic, it may be worth holding for years. 23andMe is stepping into the health sector. Yep, certain shares are going to operate in this different way. That's just how this is. What's your opinion, Dave? What's your opinion about the auto industry with Tesla and new brands with EVs? I was thinking about Nikola or Rivian being the new growth stocks. Don't know about that, especially the Nokia. Sorry, the Nikola, not Nokia. Nikola. There's been all kinds of issues with Nikola. Rivian, I'm not sure. I have liked Tesla in its corporate game plan always. I like what Tesla has done as a corporation always. Create your own charging stations. Create your own distribution network for your vehicles, your own in-house repair system. They opened stores in retail malls to put models in so you could go to a mall and look at a Tesla, sit inside a Tesla, talk to Tesla people. Love that concept. Now they've pulled them back because they've done that. Now they've pulled back. Now they're online only, and they've got all kinds of places for you to go to get information on Teslas. Plus, they're all over the place depending on where you live. You can always talk to somebody that owns one, and or in certain cities, you can rent one and have one for a day or two if you want. Love the concept of Tesla. The stock is another matter. And the same with these guys here. The Nikola and the Rivian, these shares are a different matter entirely. Tesla, as of now, has proven to be successful in the art of raising cash. Lots of cash. And by doing so, they don't have to worry about paying their bills, building out their factories, and or having bankers come knocking on the door going, hey, you're behind on your payments or you're in breach of your covenants. You might be in jeopardy with these loans. We might call in the bonds. The company is in no danger of that at all. It's an expensive stock, heavy multiples on the earnings, but they're not going anywhere. They're not going to disappear tomorrow. And they've got a market share, and they're building on market share, and they're getting customers to buy again and again and again. They're getting this loyalty thing nailed down, which is going to be a tough thing for non-big brand car makers to break into. The GMs of the world, the Fords and others who bring out electric cars like Volkswagen, they can use the billions of dollars of capital they have and borrowing power they have and expertise and existing dealer networks to back up their product. Tesla had to do it all by themselves at their dime without franchisees helping them out, because that's the route they took. I respect it. They have spent billions and billions of dollars to build their brand, build their loyalty, and convince many doubters that they are the real deal. Same thing with these other miniature outfits. These are small outfits. These guys are really up against it to build brand loyalty. They just do not have the track record. They don't have their infrastructure record. They don't have all their service centers situation all set up. You're really gambling there. So on the stock play, you got to wonder, can these guys really raise the billions they're going to need to truly become a brand, a national American brand, for example? Because if you can't conquer America, you're not getting into the car business or truck business in any meaningful way. You've really got to have a national presence, and you've got to have quality control and warranty backup and everything else. So it's a gamble. It's a real gamble. I don't know if there's anywhere to go on that. What are your opinions on renewable energy, sustainable infrastructure stock and their ETFs? Oh yeah. Well, okay. You got Biden in the White House. That's a good thing. You've got a president who's saying the obvious. We've got to get off the coal. We can't be doing coal. We got to get off burning oil for everything. We can harness the sun. It's there. It's good for a couple billion years. We could harness like wind. We got lots of that everywhere. We really can harness solar and wind energy, and we can really do a lot with it, like convert it to electricity for everything we need. So I like that, the philosophy, the concept, and the idea of reducing our greenhouse emissions and improving this area. Yes, all great. Now the question is, can you make any money at it? Can you make any money at it? It might well be that the average individual who's installing solar panels on roofs and installing battery storage systems on garage walls and in basement walls, running wiring, that these folks will make a really good living. And there will be, in certain areas of the country, there will be regional installers with 200 employees, good size warehouse for parts and repair. They'll do really well, but they're not going to be publicly traded. These are small. They're either mom and pops or a little larger than mom and pops, but they're never going to be a public company, and you can't invest in them. But they'll do well. Will the companies that operate at scale, the big players, will there be big players that will really be able to benefit here and make a lot of money? That is the gamble. That's the question you're asking me. Who do you invest in and how? If you go into the ETFs, you are investing in a whole bunch of companies and a whole bunch of levels of the business. Good move, conservative move, a long-term move. There'll be winners in there. There'll be losers in there. There'll be break-evens in there. But, the managers will pick and choose the investments to make, and the ones to avoid might be the only way to truly comfortably get into something like that. If you're going to try to find one company to put your money into, you better know somebody in there. You better have some inside knowledge or an awareness of the business over and above the average investor to really help you determine which company and why you would invest in it. Keep in mind too, sometimes the companies that have the golden egg in their hand blow it. They've got everything going for them. They're in the right place. They're in the right business, but they can't execute the plan. And so the stock was supposed to be a rock star. The company was supposed to be an absolute success, and it all turned to chicken feed. It didn't work out. So an ETF might be the way to do this, the safest way to do this. And yeah, there you have it. Okay, there you go. Heidi, it's sad you can't even mention the name non-politically in a conversation without people getting defensive and butthurt. Oh, I hear you. There's very little. We YouTubers, we get it from all sides, no matter what we say. Yeah, we just got to take it. We just got to take it. I sold GameStop at 55 today, and I rebought at 50. Is there any limit to day trading like that? In my opinion, no. But you might be called, the brokerage firm you're dealing with may label you an active day trader. And I'm not sure what the limit, I don't know what that means. What does that mean to you? What is that going to mean to you? I'm not 100% sure. But you know what? You got 45 shares of GameStop, and they ran up to 55 today, and you sold them. And then it backed off to 50 later today, and you bought them back. I say good move. You were on it. You were on top of it. You scored the deal. $5, 45 shares, $225. You did it with 100 shares. You did it with 500 shares. You did it with 1,000. You did it with one. Way to go. If you can do trades like that, God bless you for it. That's a 10% move. There's nothing wrong with a 10% move. And at the end of the day, what's the difference? You've still got the stock you had at the beginning of the day, but you got some money in the account. Or you used the money that you saved and bought more stock, and now you've increased the leverage, because if you flip it again, you're flipping more units and you're building your portfolio out that way. As long as you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you have to buy back a little higher. You'll have fewer shares. But if you can read the tea leaves, and you can sense the momentum of the stock. And you saw the chart today, for example, the GameStop stock chart that you saw this in the middle of the day. You saw that, and you're going, yeah, all morning long it was meandering, and then it did a spike, and then it hit this. I sold here because I saw this coming. I felt maybe, and sure enough, it backed off into that. You bought it back. Way to go. Way to go. It's not for everybody, but it can be done, and there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing. And I don't think you're going to be sanctioned by the broker or anything like that. Not at all. Here we go. Emily is saying you can do 3 of those trades a week, or else you'll be called a pattern day trader, and you might need 25 grand in your account. So there's a couple of trades you can do per week without issue. Fair enough. And if you're given a 10% gift like that, what's wrong with that? Here's another one. Sean, pattern day trade rule allows up to 3-day trades a week, but any more requires 25 grand in securities or capital plus your trades. Interesting. There we go. That's how it goes. In Canada, we Canadians, no limit. We can buy and sell as much as we want, and we do pay commission. Again, it depends on the firm you're with. Absolutely right. Bruce, what's a good option call on Virgin Galactic? I don't know if there is one. There might be such a high premium on these options that there isn't a good play. I know there are gamblers watching this show. And there are gamblers out there who want to score. You want to score. And if you can get 10 contracts leveraging 1,000 shares for less than $1,000, you're prepared to risk it all for the one home run that'll take $1,000 to 15 grand or 20 grand or whatever. I just can't tell you which one that is, because that's just not my game. I just don't. I'm not the bookie for you, and I'm not the guy to say, hey, I know a good score where you can make a killing in 15 minutes. I don't have it. Sorry to say. So I can't give you a good option call. And here you go, Subway scientist. You got to know when to hold them, and you got to know when to fold them. Right on. Like I say, folks, lots of things to do. I have 1,000 Gamestop at $215, and I'm holding until as long as I reach my goal. Fair enough. You also have the option at your leisure. You can write call contracts, 10 of them, against the position if you wanted to. You can always write 10 call contracts, good for 2 weeks at $80 a share. Well out of the money, but you have to think to yourself, if they go to 90, am I going to kick myself in 3 weeks, or am I comfortable offering these 1,000 shares up at $80 and take $3 or $4 premium right now? If that's what you're getting, that's $3 or $4 grand for a month. Are you happy? Or for 2 weeks? Are you happy with $3 or $4 grand for 2 weeks of your time, where the contracts expire worthless because the shares didn't go over 80? It's all yours. You just brought in some money on your $200 position. You just brought in $3, $4 grand. Then you can write contracts for another couple of weeks or for 1 week. I mean, you may want to write a contract on Tuesday that expires Friday, and you're offering them at $70. But keep in mind, we saw today a low of 48 and a high of 55. That's a $7 swing today on a quiet day. Volume 14 million. Yesterday, they swung a little more. They had about a $10 range. We've seen this happen. So if you do offer a contract or an option or 10 options on your stock, you have to ask yourself, what happens if I take it out? Can I live with that? I don't know. What do I think about the counterfeit stocks that are created from short sales? They're not counterfeit. There aren't counterfeit stocks. There are fail to deliver scenarios, but they're very rare. They get taken care of. There can be a glitch in the system, but there isn't. There aren't millions and millions of shares out there, counterfeit, non-existent, fake, all that. There's no such thing as that. It's just not there. Supersonic Asian, I have 70% of Planetaire PLTR and 30% GameStop. I would like to average down. Should I go 50-50 for better diversification? Or does it matter since they're both longs? It doesn't matter. They're both longs. If you're a fan of both, fine, leave it alone. On the other hand, if one of them takes the run for you, then you sell out of the one or partially, and then you move dollars over to the other side to try to average your price on the other one. So if PLTR goes for you, you sell it, you got proceeds there, and GameStop is at an attractive buy-in price, average down price, go. Yeah, or take on a third position. Can you day trade within a TFSA limit each year? I think you can. But you got to check with your administrator on that one for sure. MP is saying 147 million into GameStop versus 128 outgoing. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. I don't follow you. It's too generic a comment. Hi, Bruce. I hope you can answer this question. How can I trade things I have ethical comms with in such a way, or qualms with, so CALM, that I'm not supporting them shorting CFDs, ETFs? How can I trade things you don't agree with ethically? Yeah, Jen says you don't trade them, and then you don't have that problem.
Ethical investments.
Yeah. Otherwise, just go with ethical investments. I mean, there's a simple answer and there's the obvious answer, I think. The myth is that short sellers are rolling forward the FTD, failure to deliver system after 3 days, into a new shell company called a strategic FTD in order to flood the market with these FTD stock. It's a myth. It's a myth. The brokers have to settle up. It's not up to the hedge funds to play games. It's the brokerage firms that are clearing those transactions, and the SEC. You cannot create fake stock. You can't do it. I'm sorry, folks. I know some of you want to believe this. You love the theory. It doesn't exist. You can't do it. No, you can't do it. The clearinghouses are too wise. The brokerage firms are not going to risk their entire firm for one client with shenanigans. Not gonna do it. Not good. Thanks, Uncle Bruce. Thank you, Michael. What's your opinion on Express Spa Group stock? I have no idea what it is. I know nothing. Average Gamer Bruce, will you make a video on the 218 Vlad 10 of Robinhood and Keith Gill, the DFB Roaring Kitty testifying in front of the SEC? Am I going to sit in front of that and watch that crap? I don't think so. No. I might make a comment on it in my live, but am I going to sit there and watch paint dry and watch these congressional hacks try to ask these guys questions they know nothing about? I haven't got time to waste, kids. I've got a life, man. I have a life. And what's the difference? What could possibly be said in those hearings that will make your lives any different than they are now? Will any of you get your investment compensated in GameStop? No, nothing is going to change. I have no interest in that thing. I'll watch some news reporter talk about it, but I don't even know if I'll comment on that. Bruce, I'm at work and I missed the feed. What do you think of the accusation by some retail traders that hedge funds have been using synthetic longs to keep shorting? No. Doesn't exist. Move on, kids. Move on. Bruce, out of curiosity, what is the taxation like on stock profits? Canadian versus U.S. rules, your pick. All I know, it's very different here in Sweden, I guess. Yeah, every country has their own rules. And I know in Canada we have a capital gains scenario. In the U.S. they have their capital gains scenario. You can look it up on Google if you're interested in this boring topic. To me, it's a boring topic. Michael Rickman, thank you, Uncle B. We are going to miss you next week. Thank you for the gas money. I could use the gas money to get from here to Calgary. AB, I hate to admit it, but I've tried all major apps, opened multiple accounts, and put a few in each. Robinhood has easily the best interface. You think in this day where the app matters, Robinhood wins? ? Kind of weird. Well, it all depends on what it is you're going to be trading in, I guess. Poutine or beaver tails? What's the deal, Bruce? You going for poutine or beaver tails? We're going to end up at the Costco, we hope, in Calgary. There's several of them. We expect to pick up product on the way home from Calgary. We haven't been in a Costco in a long time, so yeah, there'll be toilet paper and Kleenex and other goodies in bulk. But we could have poutine at the Costco if we so choose. They do have some really nice. They make chicken wings here in Canada, but I don't think the food court is open at the Costco right now. I think it's all shut down. If it is open, maybe only for takeout. I'm not sure. We'll find out when we get there because Alberta's been on a serious lockdown. We'll see. I know the Costco is open though, so we won't be lingering in there. We'll get going in, get our stuff, get out. Poutine rules, says Sharon. You know it, Sharon. Naomi and Nami Koi, poutine, yes. Until they close trading on Robinhood when you're trying to trade it, great. Let's get the thumbs up. How many thumbs ups have we got? How are we doing here on this show for thumbs ups? Are you guys supporting me today? 443 thumbs ups on this show, 955 people watching. Please do consider giving a thumbs up on this telecast if you could. That would help the analytics, as I always say. 475 now. I think we're going to break 500 with this little rush here. A bunch of you are kicking in that thumbs up. There it is, 500. Boom, just like that. We got 500. Let's hope we just blow through there and go for 6. Thank you, everybody. 527 now. They're coming in. Thank you for these thumbs ups, everybody. They really mean a lot to the channel. Mike, what's going on, Mike? I have nothing to ask. Just really, I like your show. I like you. This is for the Bruce Tesla Fund. People are telling me that the $5 donation is for a lug nut. They're saying it's a lug nut donation. I take it all. Thank you, all of you. Appreciate that. Keep them coming. Don't ever stop. Robinhood is the Etch-a-Sketch of mobile trading apps. Mario, only takeout at Costco, Bruce. Only takeout. I love their chicken wings. You can buy like 12 or 20 or something. You can't get them in the States. They don't have deep fried chicken wings in the States. They offer all kinds of sauces. I don't even bother with the sauces. I just like the chicken wings. The way they cook them, they're great. I like it. What can I say? But in the U.S., I love getting me a chicken bake. I love the chicken bakes in the States. They don't have those in Canada. We love you, Bruce. Love the story earlier about the Superman comics. Yes, the death of Superman. Oh, I have a lot of comic book stories over the years and sports card stories over the years. Oh, my gosh. Being a retailer in that business, that was something else. Wild and wacky. I meant Costco, says ye old simmer. We got you, Bruce. Thank you. Are the postcards up? Postcards are on the way. Let me know when you get your postcards. Hopefully you're getting them this week. They're out there. They're going. They're happening, baby. Around the world, the postcards are gone and gone. Let me know when you get them. Let's see what's going on. Since you were a watch guy before being a Wall Street guy, what watch did you wear while a broker? Oh, that's a good question. The funny thing is, I've never owned a high quality, expensive timepiece, and yet I was a watchmaker. I've always wanted a Patek Philippe, handmade Swiss timepiece, rare, top quality. Yeah, expensive. Never bought one. I've never owned one. Whenever I've come into any cash, it's gone to the family. Raising a daughter, looking after Jen. I mean, when you have a Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife, you don't skimp. You don't want her to be stolen from you, so you got to be careful. Bruce, what is your favorite body of water? My favorite body of water is a nice spa with the bubbles coming up, a jacuzzi on a cruise ship where I'm looking out over the ocean and we're sailing along. That's my favorite body of water. I'm looking at water out there and I'm bubbling in water right here and I'm getting nice and loose and all those tendons and those muscles are going, yeah, baby. That's my favorite body of water by far. Pizza at Costco is great, people are saying. Here we go, Sean Coover. Regulation SHO went into effect to curb abusive naked short selling. Forbes reported back in 2006 with the exceptional story of Global Links, and it was less than effective. A good read. There are I still see abuses. Quite ridiculous. JB, hope you and Jen enjoy your Valentine's weekend. I wish I could say that what it was, but we have a family thing to deal with. What else have we got? Who else is here? There's all kinds of wonderful comments coming in. Drone Geeks, search buying a plastic lug nut cover by the Tesla hacker. Can't wait to see you and Jen in a Tesla, though it's going to happen. Let's hope that happens. Bruce, are you going to watch the Snyder Cut Justice League? I don't know what that means. I know Justice League. I've heard of it. I don't follow that stuff. I used to just sell comics. Is using the order flow chart a good tool to use to find stocks to trade, among other things? I don't know. I've never used it, so I can't help you. Thoughts on the Apple Watch? Way to go, Apple. Putting a communications device on a wrist in miniature. Way to go. Not into it myself. Never really wanted an Apple Watch. Never really wanted. No. I don't even wear a watch. I don't have a watch. I own a watch that I don't wear, that I'm not sure if it's working. It's all electronic now anyway. Yeah, I don't have my tools anymore. Sold them a long time ago. I can't fix a watch now. And I don't have the skills to repair a watch anymore. Way out of practice. What can I say? By the way, BT says, Bruce, June 2021 is GameStop's shareholder meeting. Only then Ray Cohen can say publicly about the plans for the company. Hopefully they call in a vote so we can recall shorted stocks unless they forgo the vote. Don't know if that's doable. We'll see what's going on. What else is happening? Nice and loose to the swim up bar. There you go. We see how he got Jen with all those moves he's making. There you go. Clash to win. Bruce, Rolex watch fund, no Tesla. I would never want a Rolex. They're too bulky. They're too big. Patek Philippe, very slim design. Patek Philippe was oh gosh, I'm so old now. I've forgotten the terms I used to know. Self-winding Patek Philippe. You just wear it, and as you move your wrist, it winds itself. It's always wound while you're moving. That would be nice. But around the house, I wouldn't wear a Patek Philippe. I mean, and then going out, I wouldn't want to hurt it. So I don't know when I'd wear it. It's a sad story. AB, what do you think of everyone rocking the Apple Watch, from kids working the fast food counter to tech billionaires, the guys at Rolla, Omega? Are they nervous? They've lost market share years ago. And they have their die-hard clientele that they will never lose. There are die-hard clients of those brands that just won't go away. Matt, can we get coffee mugs with Bruce on them? Well, maybe someday. I just heard today that my mugs have arrived at the post office. So I'm hoping to pick up my mugs later today. Unfortunately, I couldn't get them before the show. But when you see me back here from my trip here, you will be watching someone holding up a stock markets with Bruce merchandise. You betcha. Looking forward to that. Definitely been looking forward to that. Oh my gosh. You got to watch that guy who's been at the swim bar all day with no bathroom breaks. Yeah, you got to watch those guys. You got to keep your distance sometimes with guys like that. Yes. Thanks for shutting down the conspiracy talk, Bruce. There's too much disinformation. I hear you. I hear you. You got to watch the guy who's been at that swim bar. I was just interested in your opinion as a watch connoisseur. I have one because I'm a chef and timers, etc. Yeah. I used to know all about the timepieces, and of course I was in the business, but yeah, it's long out. Put the Patek Philippe in a watch winder. That's right. You put your watch on a little holder, and then the holder rotates all the time, and it keeps your watch wound up. It's amazing. It's automatic movement. That's right. I need a Patek Philippe room. That's what I need. They can't compare. Self-winding is called mechanical watches. He's already made mugs. They're sold out. Hopefully not. You can always get a mug for Stock Markets with Bruce. If you go to the Redbubble store, there's a link above here. You can order one of these anytime you want, or 2 or 4 or 10. You can order these, Gamestop with Uncle Bruce, or you can order those. Those are the 3 mugs so far, the 3 different logos so far we've created for the channel. And you can get those anytime you want. From Redbubble. They'll make you one anytime. Casio really missed a smartwatch boat. I remember watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when John Candy was trying to get a room for the night from the guy running the hotel, and he was offering him a Casio. I think I didn't go for it. So yes, coffee mugs are available, and the Casio missed the boat. That's for sure. Oh man, Bruce McCall is saying, "Hey Bruce, I missed most of the GameStop movement and news this week. Can you provide a 30-second commentary?" Well, when it's all said and done, it ended up at $52 today, and it was as low as 45 or 48 maybe a couple of times, and bounced back. Volume has slowed down dramatically. Company didn't make any news announcements this week. I think last week they announced their hiring of 3 key people that are starting next week to work with the company, stealing from Amazon and from Chewy. I expect more of that. I heard one of my viewers mention yesterday that they know of a gamer, very popular, well-known social media gamer that's been approached by GameStop to do collaborations with the company going forward, and a whole bunch of other gamers have been approached, and this gamer is very interested. Think something big is going to happen in the future with GameStop and its online presence. It's really going to change towards gamer central, gamerish. And then heard today, one of my other viewers said that on the GameStop website, if you are a member of the Power Up Club, that's the in-house GameStop frequent buyer club, you got points, you can convert points into crypto, and they're getting into, it sounds like GameStop is getting into crypto purchase allowable stuff. This could be a really interesting trend because the demographic of the GameStop client is right in the wheelhouse of Bitcoin. They're of the right age, the right mentality, everything. So there could be something happening there. A lot of interesting things happening there about GameStop and what's going on. Kind of interesting. Anyway, going to be kind of strange not having you here next week, Bruce. Hope you and Jen will be well. We will be well, and we will do what we need to do, and we will return, and we will continue on. But keep an eye open on the channel. Make sure to hit the bell notification icon when you subscribe, if you subscribe, and you'll be updated every time I upload. And there might be an upload at 11 at night, 1 in the morning. You don't know. And it might be an update on GameStop or something else that I'm following, and I'll just do a video update for you. Check it out. We'll see what's going on. That was the agreement between RC Ventures and GameStop. Aaron Cohen will step up as CEO, plus 3 more people he chose. Interesting. I like this news. What does it mean that GameStop has been hovering around $50 all week? It means that the selling has stopped. It means that the stock isn't being dumped off left, right, and center. It means we may have hit bottom for a while. It means that there's a solid wall of support coming in. It means that it might bounce from these levels, but it means that, for now it's stopped, and then next week it goes down again. It could mean that, but I don't think so. The volumes have really backed off. I mean, really backed off. We will be on Uncle Bruce withdrawal next week. Hit that bell, please. Hit that bell. Subway SCI wants what symbol, please? I have no idea what you're talking about. AB, wonder if there's a stockbroker, day trader, simulator you could play on Twitch. Laugh out loud. You'd probably own at that game and get many views, subscribers. Stockbroker, day trader, simulator you could get on play. I'm not a gamer. I'm not gonna be a gamer. I'm just gonna be a talker. And I'm just gonna try to kind of give you what I'm coming up with and kind of go from there. I don't know if Twitch will work for me. I really don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's going on. Brent Hips is saying, it's almost like someone asked Max from Wonder Woman in 1984 for a wish to make his portfolio more interesting, and then GameStop happened. Hey, have you got thoughts on Jen setting up her own channel? Maybe egg sandwiches with Jen? Bagels with Jen, that kind of thing. I don't think so. Heath, Michael Burry shorted Tesla due to a leaked email. Interesting. Uncle Bruce, what do you think about Next Gen Energy? Don't know anything about it. Wall Street Raider, very good stock market simulator. Google it. AB was saying stream a paper trade account live. There you go. Browse Humboldt all the way. Greetings from Switzerland. Welcome from Switzerland. Nice to have you here. Giuseppe, Bruce, greetings from Italy. Love your live streams. Thank you for sharing your market wisdom. By the way, what's your favorite place in Italy? Have you ever been? I have had the pleasure of visiting Italy from a cruise ship, the Norwegian Jade. My daughter and I took a daddy-daughter trip. She was 20. And it would be the last time I felt that I would ever have the pleasure of quality time with my daughter, because after age 20, your daddy-daughter time evaporates, and that's exactly what's happened. And so we did a 19-day trip together where we left Calgary and we flew to New York and did New York for 4 days. Then we flew to London and over to Berlin. We did Berlin for 3-4 days. Then we flew to Southampton, caught the Norwegian Jade, and did an 11-day cruise through the Mediterranean, which ended in Barcelona. Ended up in Italy. We ended up in Cagliari on the island, and then we were in Naples, Rome for a day, Pisa, and Florence for a day. And we got a little tiny taste each day of each place. And I've told Jen, I said, darling, we have got to go to Italy. We have got to go to Italy and spend some quality time there because, oh, what a place. The people, the food, the scenery. Oh, man. Love it. I love anything to do with Roman ruins. I'm always fascinated over the years to watch the National Geographic shows. I ended up in Naples with Jennifer Jr., and we ended up going to Herculaneum for a 6-hour or 4-hour bus trip, maybe 5 hours. It was buried by Mount Vesuvius, just like Pompeii was buried. This is a city that was called Herculaneum. It's on the coast at the time, back in the day, and then the volcano blew, covered Pompeii, covered Herculaneum and many other areas. The shoreline now, where Herculaneum is now 2 miles away from the coast of the Mediterranean Ocean, because 40 to 70 feet of debris fell on Herculaneum, buried it, and 2 miles downstream, down the water, it fell in the water and filled the land, broke the surface, and a whole bunch of new land was created in that area of southern Italy from this massive explosion. All we ever hear about is Pompeii. You don't know about the rest of the area that was buried. Herculaneum was discovered in the 1700s because people who used to live in Herculaneum, who had been in Rome when the eruption happened, came back 6 months later, a year later, couldn't find Herculaneum anymore. Where is it? Because they went to the water, where the water was, the shoreline, and there's nothing there. And they started digging, and they went down, and there was nothing there because it used to be underwater 2 miles out into the Mediterranean. They did not know where the ancient Romans never again found Herculaneum. And it wasn't until the 1700s a farmer was digging a hole looking for a water well. Just digging, and it was dug by hand in those days, 1700s. And they went down about 70, 80 feet down, and they hit something that wasn't natural. It wasn't, nature made. They hit a pillar, an ancient pillar that was once a Roman house, villa, whatever. And then, of course, in came treasure hunters. And thankfully, the emperor who was running that area of Italy at the time, they owned all the rights to anything down below, and they quickly put a stop to speculators, and then they authorized digs, and they began to uncover Pompeii, of course, and they uncovered Herculaneum. And today, only a third of that city has been uncovered. Only a third. 2/3 of it is underneath a city called Herculaneum. There's a new town on top of the old town. And as time goes by, the former co-creator of Microsoft, Mr. Paul Allen, he started buying up property in Herculaneum. He bought apartment buildings. He bought store buildings. He bought real estate all around the dig site of Herculaneum, the ancient city. Just started buying up land and buildings as they came up. He'd buy them slowly but surely, quietly, anonymously, and has started to turn it over. It began to turn it over into a trust for the future to uncover more of the ancient city. So what's going to happen as time goes by? Buildings will be torn down in an environmentally friendly way. Streets will be removed, and they will dig down and excavate more of the ancient city that's underneath this dig, and they will eventually grow to. It's now a World Heritage Site. It is a global World Heritage Site, and if you ever go there, you go with a tour guide, and you will see some of the most pristine, protected, ancient ruins, and it blew my mind. I was just so happy I did. I have got to go back because I was only there for 3 hours. Saw nothing. Got to go there for several days and to really get a serious tour. But yeah, very exciting stuff. So Italy. Oh yeah. Do I want to go back to Italy? Yeah. Oh, I do want to go back to Italy. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Bruce, what was your biggest profit on what stock? Theoretically, it would have been the company I took public. But unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way in the long run. But for a while, I was a very rich man, but only on paper because I was not allowed to sell stock. Drone, I'm already subscribed with notifications, Bruce. Been here some time now. eToro allows play money trades. It would be interesting to take polls and see where we end up. Yeah, I'm not setting up a trading type of a channel. I want the freedom to kind of go wherever I want to go, do whatever I want to do, talk about whatever I want to talk about. And if I'm not feeling well for a week or so, I could just take off and not worry about the paper trades and all that kind of stuff, not leaving anybody hanging. I don't want to have arguments in between the site that we should have bought that, we should have sold this, done this. It's just not it's not where I want to go. It's just not my thing. But there's all kinds of interesting stuff. Bruce, you should be able to set up to a stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. It's something I will investigate eventually, but I'm telling you, it's not a high priority for me. But maybe someday I'll take a peek at it. Please keep smashing the thumbs up button, Sharon is saying. Sharon, you give excellent advice. We're coming into the last few minutes of this show before I'm going to shut this down. We now have 654 thumbs ups. 799 of you, 814 of you are here right now, 814. Please give a thumbs up if you can. Help me get over 700 thumbs up, 661 now. That would be absolutely tremendous. Let's get some momentum on this show. I thank all of you for this and all of your kind words, your support, your encouragement, donations, everything. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Those of you making PayPal donations, thank you. Sharon, one of them right there. Sharon made a PayPal donation today. You can make a PayPal donation to this channel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't have to wait for me to be on the air. You can do a donation anytime you like. And oh, do I love waking up in the morning and checking my PayPal scenario and finding that I had 2 donations in the middle of the night come in, no matter what they are. I love it. Love you guys for that. Thank you. Alrighty, we are now at I got 7 minutes to go, and we got to shut her down. Florence is nice. I found it very interesting. Loved the tour with the guide. Very, very enjoyable. The 6 YouTube thumbs downs are from competitors. It doesn't matter. They add to the momentum of the channel anyway. YouTube just counts them as thumbs, whether they're up or down. They just count them as thumbs. But I love having the highs. I love getting the ups. It's great. Good job having your priorities straight, Bruce. Thank you. Let's see here. Opinion on this. I've talked about this a number of times. It's not for me as a personal individual. It's not for me, but it is an up and coming thing, becoming more legitimate all the time. And now I hear GameStop is entering the realm as well in a way. I'm kind of curious to see if any media picks up on that. Does anyone else hear Jerry Seinfeld when Bruce talks? That's a high compliment. That is high. I love comedians in cars getting coffee, watching Jerry talk to these comedians for hours. I wish he had outtakes that he would put up where, there's half an hour of outtakes for each one of these guys that he's interviewed or people. Oh my God. He had Don Rickles before Don Rickles passed away. He had Jerry Lewis. He had all these, and of course, Alive and Well comics. Obviously, I am so pleased he has done this series to talk to comics before we lose them. It's incredible. Gary Shandling, months before Gary passed away unexpectedly, he had him on. Oh gosh, I would love to see outtakes. He had on Super Dave Osborne. Dave, is it Bob Einstein? Oh, he had him on twice. You want to laugh your butt off? watch Comedians in Cars with Coffee with Bob Einstein for his 2 appearances. Funny, and the outtakes, I can't imagine how many there are, and there've got to be non-PG rated outtakes that he's sitting on. And I want Jerry, come on, give. It's a pandemic, please. We'll watch. Anyway, there you go. Tim Bowman, Herculaneum, a very nice tourist spot. You got that right. They sure do it right over there. Let's see what's going on here. Love Jerry Seinfeld. You think I sound like Jerry? Really? Love Jerry Seinfeld. High praise indeed. Drone. Always get to the point. I don't want you to get off. I don't want you to log off. I love watching. I caught a horrible virus in Pompeii that we still refer to as the Pompeii plague. Oh my gosh. Don't be licking the artifacts. That's what I'm telling you, kids. Don't be licking those artifacts. You got to read those signs. Don't lick the artifacts. Oh, man. Uranium. What do you think about the uranium business? I wish it would collapse. I wish uranium would just disappear off the face of the earth. I wish atomic weapons couldn't be made anymore. Plutonium weapons couldn't be made anymore. And that all the plutonium weapons would just die and they'd be worthless. It wouldn't that be fantastic? But unfortunately, it ain't gonna happen. Herculaneum doesn't have that plaster body cast, but the eruption preserved wood. They do have some plaster body casts actually. I saw them in Herculaneum. It's an amazing place. Very, very interesting. Brent, I did a Rome, Venice, Paris, London tour a few years ago. I'd skip Venice in the future. I'd rather have more time in Rome than ever been in Venice. Venice, unfortunately, when you probably did it, was busier than can be, packed with zillions of tourists and cruise ship tourists. Not a fun experience. I can imagine it would not be. I've not been there, but I have heard the same talk before. Again, I don't know this one here. Yannick, I don't know about this. Uncle Bruce, I love your live streams. What do you think about the Netlist stock and their suit against Google? Don't know anything about it. I'm sorry to say. Here's one. Hublot is the best Swiss watch brand, if you were wondering. I've got a soft spot for Patek Philippe, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's because back in the day when I was taking watchmaking class from 74 to 77, that brand, Patek Philippe, was legendary amongst the class and amongst the instructors. And, you talk to a watchmaker and say, have you ever repaired a Patek Philippe? And some of them would say, yes, I have, or I've had one come in, but I sent it on to the factory, or it all depended on the age of the watch and the experience of the watchmaker we're talking about. Very interesting. Here's a comment. We did a Mediterranean trip too, missed Herculaneum. I guess we need to go back. Let's make a trip of it, Bruce, when the pandemic is over. You do want to go there. Yeah, you want to see it. Pretty neat place. Have you ever been to Prague? No. It's on my bucket list. Someone saying I would like to see Prague, Vienna, Zurich, Geneva, Bern, Switzerland, Lausanne. Yes, definitely want to go over there. Absolutely. It sucks that excavations are happening where the earth is as hard as concrete. Well, yeah, in a way, that's true. Bruce, the uranium. Someone's asking me the same question a million times. Sorry. I've already done it. We'll move on. AB, we always hear about how Gates, Bezos, Musk are so rich but it's mostly their stocks. What would happen to the stock if it was fully cashed out? Yeah, I think Gates has been selling bit by bit into a very willing market. Bezos has sold from time to time. He'll slowly feed out. His wife is selling. She got a bunch of stock and she's slowly selling, going to charity. Musk, he's still earning stock. He's still acquiring. He's still getting bonuses. He's getting stock bonuses and he'll continue to pile it up. But, when they sell out, by the time they sell, they have such a small percentage of the company because the company will have raised more issues and done more financings that they're down to, 4, 7, 8% ownerships, that type of thing. We'll see. Doesn't seem to hurt the stock right now, does it? A lot of these institutional buyers buy up these blocks because it's easy now to get 1 million shares in a chunk right away, right? Anyway, there you go. We've got to say goodbye here. We're just about done. What's the deal with airline stocks? What's the deal? I get a little hint of the Canadian David Letterman when Bruce talks. Yeah, I love Dave Letterman when he came over to CBS, started his late show. I was so happy for him that he finally got his own show, and CBS took good care of Mr. Letterman and all of his staff. Way to go, Dave. Loved it that he had Johnny Carson make that appearance for the last time ever on television. Johnny Carson appears on the Letterman show. Yeah, way to go, Dave. Love the interview Jerry did with Dave Letterman on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Fantastic. Greg, GameStop will probably start taking crypto for purchases. They will. That apparently they're yeah, it's happening. I think that's good. Super Dave, 80s memories. Oh gosh. You remember the show Bizarre? Was it with what's that guy's name with Bizarre? The Dave. We're trying to remember the host of that show. It was a Canadian half-hour show, huh?
It's a Canadian show.
A Canadian half-hour show went into syndication, and then Super Dave would do a guest appearance. There would be like a 5-minute Super Dave segment or an 8-minute segment, and the stunts that go wrong. But the host of the show, Dave Byrne. It'll come back to me anyway. Hilarious. I miss those days. Good times, guys. All right, I gotta go. See you later, Bruce. Good night, Bruce. See you next week. Jason Mudrick just bought 5% of GSAT. Don't know what that means. Bye, Bruce. Have a safe trip. Good one, Bruce. Take care. Failure report should come out, huh?
They get a nice long weekend.
Yeah, have a nice long weekend, everybody. Keep an eye on my channel. John Biner, thank you, Brent. There, I knew one of you would help me out. John Biner was the host of Bizarre, a silly half-hour goofy show, very funny, little skits, and then Super Dave would have a segment in there. And you remember the guy that held the microphone that would interview him all the time? I can't remember his name, but he was a Canadian sportscaster. He was actually in real life. He was a Canadian sportscaster, and he would introduce himself as himself. Covering the latest Super Dave event at the Super Dave compound. Loved Bob Einstein, man. You got to watch Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with Jerry Seinfeld and Bob Einstein. Google it. There's 2 shows he did. He was the first guest that he had on twice, and he's hilarious. He passed away last year, Bob Einstein, at 73 or something like that. Man, he was great. Guys, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. You take care. We will see you sometime next week, probably next Friday for sure when I'm back here. But keep an eye on the channel for videos in the meantime. Thanks for the thumbs ups. Thanks for the donations. Have a good long weekend. Relax, enjoy, stay safe. Jen will take care. We'll be good. You be good. And we'll tell you all about the trip when we get back. We went to Costco. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.